Videotaping, hello? Michael's videotaping. The ugliest guy in the world, right? Look at this.
You're giving me exactly the content I want. I hope you know.
I know.
I missed you.
I didn't miss you.
You didn't miss me? Then why are you over here?
You are so ugly. It's not even funny. Hello, everybody. Dianna Ploss here. Dianna Ploss here.
God-loving people. Allah bless America. Hey guys, is this the Trump circle jerk?
Huh?
Is this the Trump circle jerk?
Yeah. Get off that flag, please. Come on, man. You don't do that.
I'm here to support you guys.
Allah bless America.
God bless America. Excuse me. That's.
Get off the flag. What the hell's wrong with you?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
That's my property.
Yeah, it's your property, but you know,
Excuse me.
American flag doesn't go on the ground.
This guy just stole. Ooh.
What was that? Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. You can't go anywhere else. You don't make me use foul language in front of little kids. Get out of here.
Excuse me. Allah bless America. Give me back my
Allah
flag.
doesn't God bless America.
This is my flag.
Get the hell out of Dodge. Don't let me see you step on that flag again.
Okay.
You piece of shit. I'm glad. Put me on video.
Take that back. Take that.
Flag and I'll push step on you.
Take that back, you meanie.
You can go to so many other places. We're not about that here.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah.
But I want to be with you guys. I'm here to support Trump.
Get over here.
I'm here to support Trump.
Get it off the ground. Get it off the ground. Get it off the ground.
Don't touch my property.
No, we're not going to touch your property. We're going to
Just get it off the ground. You're being disrespectful.
Why would you touch me?
Because you're
Get
being
it off the ground.
disrespectful. We don't want you. Get out of here.
I thought this was a free country.
It isn't. Get
I'm
out
just
of
here to support Trump.
No, you're not here to support Trump. You're here to support some
Yes,
stupid
I
ass
am.
agenda. Get the fuck out of here.
Yes, I
Get
am.
the fuck out of here.
Allah bless America.
We had a black woman tell you Allah doesn't bless America. Allah hates America. So go
Allah.
fuck yourself.
I'm just here to support you guys. Yes, I am. What happens if I do this? What happens if I do this?
You're stepping on the flag. You
Get
don't
the flag
support
off the ground.
And you're here to just.
I'm just here to support Trump. You guys
No,
are being.
you're here to cause trouble.
You guys
Get
are
the hell
being
out of
jerks.
here. Yeah, we're jerks. Bye.
Jerk.
Later.
You guys sound like you need a hug.
Don't touch me. Please don't touch me.
Please.
Please what?
It'll make you feel better.
I don't want a hug from you. I'm good.
I'm just here to support you guys. I don't get why you're being mean to me.
You're here to cause trouble. You're a wise ass. I don't like you. I don't like wise asses. You're dragging a flag on the ground.
I feel.
No, you're dragging the flag.
I
on
feel
the
like we got off on the wrong foot.
And maybe you should learn how to treat that flag with a little bit more respect. My father fought
You sound
for
like
it.
you need a hug.
No, I don't need a hug. I need you to stay the hell away from me.
I am away from you.
No, you need to get 6 feet. Back up.
6
6 feet. I have corona. Get away.
I have
away.
I have
Get away.
corona too, so we can be together.
No, we can't. Stay the hell away. Oh my God, how far I can shove the stick up your ass.
That's not nice.
Good. Get away.
Say you're sorry. That looks really creepy, that Trump mask. We want to deep throat Trump. So within 5 minutes of arriving at the rally, the Trumpkins took my American flag and my sign and destroyed it. But I did get back my flag. Now I'm making another sign. Don't worry guys, I'm back. I'm back. Allah bless America. Hey guys. Allah bless America.
Back?
I'm back. Made a new sign.
Okay, do you want me to rip that sign too?
You're gonna rip it? Why would you rip it?
Let me get a
Because
video of it. Hold
this
on.
is America, and we only support, we bless our God.
Allah means God.
No, that's not our God.
That's Allah. Allah. Allah's God.
That is not God.
It is God.
No, there's only one God.
It is God.
This is what a jackass looks like.
Exactly. So why are you down here anyway?
To support Trump.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. So you can just like go, leave. We're done. We're done with your hate. We're done with your hate. Go.
You're done with hate?
Yeah.
You just stepped on. You just stepped on the
Yeah,
flag.
and you're dragging the flag. You're dragging the flag. So pick it up. Pick it up. Get off. Get off. We don't need you here.
Stop.
You're disrespectful. We don't need you here. We don't need you here. We don't need you here. The flag is not the one.
Give it back to me.
It does not go on the
No,
ground.
seriously, give it back to me. Here we go. Destroying property over ideas.
Disgusting. You're disgusting.
Here you go. Here's my sign destroyed. Trumpkins are just as offended.
You know what? There's an officer right there. So
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
tell them that you're harassing us. Why don't you go over there if you want to do something? You're not welcome in this area.
Why not?
You're not welcome in this area because you're harassing us.
I'm just
You're
here to support Trump.
anti-American. No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Leave. You're a stalker. That's what you are.
I love Trump.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what? I think that you should be removed.
We're all together.
No, we're not.
He's trying to incite violence.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Look at the sign he's going in. Look what he's doing.
You want to just hang out here? What's up, man?
Hold on one second. Hey, man, what's up?
Not much, you.
What's going on today?
Just here to support Trump.
Oh, you guys organized all this?
They organized it. I came because I wanted to support Trump.
Oh, you're part of it?
Yeah.
So, again, your sign got damaged by someone.
2 of my signs.
2 of your signs got damaged.
1 is in the trash.
The other one's in the trash.
1 is here.
So a lot of these people just say they say you're inciting violence. We just want to make sure there's no issues. They're trying to do their thing. You can do your thing just as much as
Right.
they can do their thing. Just try to avoid conflict as much as you can. You know what I mean? They have a lot more people than you do. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Yeah.
I would recommend maybe doing your thing separate from them, just to avoid any potential problems for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you hurt or anything?
No, I'm not.
All right.
They just grabbed my sign and.
You know what? That's what I mean. So you just being close kind of incites them as is. So maybe just try to stay clear from her. You know what I mean?
All right.
All right. Other than that, we'll get out of here. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Where are you guys going?
None of your business, dude. Get away from me.
Can we hang out?
No, get away from me. You're harassing me.
It's not nice.
Oh, it's right there.
I just want to be your friend.
No, you don't want to be my friend. You want to be in trouble with me. Get the hell away.
They called the police because of my sign and my flag. And within 20 minutes, they are packing up and leaving. Mission accomplished.
Welcome, Mike Crawford. Got a good guest tonight, funny guy. Oh man, he's got some phrases he came up with. Mike Crawford, Young Jurks. I told you we're back. We're doing it looks like weekly. I said we're going to start off slow, but we've come back pretty strong, a number of shows, and we haven't even been doing the cannabis stuff, but we will. This is going to be a fun show tonight, relax show for me, because I got someone on here who it's just hilarious. I've been watching him for months. I'm going to bring him right up. He's got a YouTube channel. He's got a lot of followers on there, a lot of followers on Facebook. I'm wondering why he's not on Twitter, because he is a great troll. His name, he's been on the show a couple times, but tonight is going to be all about him. He's got that YouTube channel. We're going to put that right up there. It's youtube.com, professional douche. Let's bring him up. Michael Picard. What's up, man?
Thank you for having me, Mike.
Thanks for being here. We started out with 2 different videos. One was you and the infamous Dianna Ploss, which I think a lot of our listeners and audience know who Dianna Ploss is. If you don't, how do you describe her, Michael, for someone who doesn't know who Dianna Ploss is at this point?
If you don't know who Dianna Ploss is, then you're pretty much living under a rock, is what I'd have to say. I first became aware of Dianna Ploss incidentally because I went to a Trump rally, and immediately she comes up to me and she's like, my sign said Allah bless America. And immediately she comes up to me and she's like, why doesn't it say God bless America? And I'm like, Allah means God. But to tell you guys who Dianna Ploss is, she is a conservative, ultra conservative. She said she was a Democrat who turned conservative once Trump ran for office. And she is a bigot, I would describe her as, who harasses people, doing their jobs and speaking in Spanish amongst themselves. She once said that Black lives don't matter. So she's an all-around bigot who apparently doesn't like that she has to press the number one for English when she calls a business.
Right. And I've got her on tape saying that public education is communism.
Everything is communism.
Yeah. But parochial school, where she went to, Catholic school, is not. Because I asked her, I said, well, where did you go to school? Did you go to public school? And first of all, she said public schools were different back then. But she said, but plus, I went to parochial school. I went to Catholic school, which I thought was funny. That's just okay. She's crazy. So we put her video up there. At the end of the video, you can see that she assaulted you, which is kind of a frequent occurrence. It seems like
she took my phone.
She took your phone. So that was like theft and assault. It looked like, I'm not a lawyer.
She likes taking things from people.
She sure does. She sure likes getting in their faces. And then we played another video with a candidate that lost running for election. I don't even know what the heck she was running for. I can't even remember.
She was running for Congress in the Boston area.
Yeah,
the seventh congressional district.
That's right.
And
Dianna Presley.
That subtitle is wrong now. Now she's running for, I believe, Secretary of State.
Yeah, she's like a perennial candidate, a perennial loser. She couldn't even get on the ballot last time. But she also...
It's beyond me how anyone thinks these people can win. And Diana's running for governor.
And she is exactly. So these are both candidates at this point again. And so Rayla, she attacked you, stole your sign twice, ripped it up. She's just an awful person. We've seen this over and over again. It's the violence. It's just funny because she's running again. And I remember last time Monica Cannon Grant. I don't know if you know who Monica Cannon Grant is. Are you familiar with her?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. I think most people are. She got in some trouble for saying something. I will say it was outrageous, but she got in a lot of heat, a lot of blowback over some words, and it's like, I don't know. It's Monica Cannon. I'm not going after Monica Cannon Grant over her words at all. Believe me. So
right.
she got a lot of blowback on that. A lot of people came after her, and they were like defending Rayla about it, like it was so objectionable what she said. But I noticed a lot of the same people didn't say anything when Rayla was violent over and over and over again. I mean, even I think even Turtle Boy maybe backed away from Rayla at the end because she got so like ratchet and hood, like she was fighting people in the street, like everywhere. It was like just like.
And you heard the voicemail, right?
No, actually, I think I did.
That she left. Yeah, that she left, I believe.
For a candidate or something for another Republican or something.
Yeah, the GOP party of Massachusetts.
Yeah, we played that actually on a previous episode. She got really crazy. It's just funny though, because most of the people who made a big deal about Monica Cannon Grant, what she said, none of them brought up what Rayla did after the fact, which was get violent. Like I don't care what Monica Grant said about her, because it's like words are one thing, violence is another thing. It's like it's so much more outrageous. And I think it was kind of funny how a lot of folks didn't even pay attention to it, except for what you guys are doing. This is one of the things. We could have played a bunch of different videos. You are madly popular on YouTube and Facebook. You have like videos with 500,000 views plus.
You know what? I'm surprised myself, because I originally started making these videos because I really enjoyed doing them, and
lo and behold, so did a lot of other people, and I'm very thankful for all the positive feedback I've received and all the hate I've received as well.
And I love the videos. I first video I saw of you immediately, I was like, oh my god, this is genius. Like, I went out there actually before you showed up in Swampscott and did a troll video with Dianna, a couple videos, and I really got one of her supporters. Really, that was the highlight video actually, besides her craziness. But then when I saw what you guys are doing, I was like, oh my god, the real comedians have shown up. These guys are just you just destroyed them, and it's the humor, like the hilarity, like say you're sorry, like that. I don't know if you're selling t-shirts, but like you have some phrases that I use those phrases now. I think a lot of people use those phrases all the time. That's not nice. Say you're sorry. It's hilarious. But
And it just like disarms people,
it
to
does.
hear, because here they are like screaming at you, and you know, I calmly say, say you're sorry or take that back or
Be
what
nice.
have you.
Yeah.
And not to give people like the secret ingredient, but all these people had to do was just ignore me, and then
That's
I
it.
wouldn't have any
That's what
content.
this is the point too. I want to make. Some people are going to get offended that oh, he showed up in a pig costume at a back the blue rally or whatever they get offended about. But that's America. You can be offended, but why do
Mhm.
you have to get nasty? Number one, no, especially when you see they're recording you. Number two, and number three, you assume Michael's nobody when Michael has a huge audience. So it's really dumb to attack him, get violent. And the thing I want to commend you on is you're basically an artist out there. What you're doing is like artistry. It's amazing, and you're basically showing people that holding the wrong sign, having the wrong costume, doing these little stupid things like stepping on a flag, it will generate violence against you. These people, they say they're about freedom, they say they're about all these things about the American people, but they will get violent on other people they don't know just because they don't like their sign. And you show it
Mhm.
over and over and over again. And you exposed, a lot of these folks like Rayla. And why I picked the two videos, because I wanted to show like these are people running for office, and you've shown them getting violent over and over and over. And it's just amazing. I think the work is commendable. I know that's not all you do. Um, we have a lot of comments too. I'm gonna read some of the comments coming in, but before we do that, I want to know, how did you get started doing this? Because you become pretty well known. I'm just wondering, how did you start out with this idea to troll people, or how did it start? How did you get involved?
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for your kind words, and also, um, I got started by in 2016, really when Trump came onto the political scene. My first rally was actually a Trump rally, and I went with a former friend of mine. On the one hand, I had a sign with my showing off my artist skills with a brick wall on it, and then I put wall so that the Trumpkins would think that I was with them and supporting them. And then on the other hand, I had my flag as a cape dragging on the ground, and people were just getting so confused about you know what side I was on. And I really got started doing this because I noticed that there was a lot of hypocrisy. Like you said, we would say freedom, 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 but as long as we agree with it. And if we didn't agree with it, we would shut other people down. So what I've noticed, and I troll both sides. I've gone to Bernie rallies before. I've gone to, of course, Trump rallies. I trolled Antifa when they were gathering at the Boston Common. I forgot when this was, but it was that freedom rally. Because I couldn't get into the freedom rally, because it was all barricaded off. They called it the free speech rally, but because I couldn't get into the barricaded area, I just decided to troll Antifa, and there were about 40,000 people there that day or something like that. And so what I've noticed from trolling both sides is that both sides basically want the same thing. They want only their voices heard, and they want government to shut the other side up.
Now
So I decided to expose that.
you're kind of basically, you and I get along in so many ways, but you and I are pretty much not politically, because I'm
Aligned.
more, I would say, I started out I started out a long time ago as a libertarian. Now I'm definitely, like, I would say what most people would call left wing, but I'm more issue focused is really, and I think that's what I like about you, is you are issue focused too. And it goes, I think a lot of times that goes beyond politics in general. So it's interesting to hear how, when you do your troll against Antifa, what number one, what are you doing trolling? Like, what is the troll against them, and how do they react?
So what I've noticed about Antifa, and really all sides, to be honest with you, is that they will, like I said, they only want their voices heard, and they'll scream over you in order to silence you. And what I did with Antifa that day is I had a sign basically saying "I'm with stupid," and I shouted things into my megaphone like, we're really angry and riled up about something, but we don't know what. And I'd also say, I don't want to hear anything I disagree with.
That's a common thing now. This is like everywhere.
It is, and it's unfortunate because I do believe that that debate is best served, that the marketplace of ideas is best served by debate, not shouting over everyone.
It would be nice if we could get back to that, just about the ideas, about the debate, like, versus who you're debating. I mean, that's kind of where I think, the world is. It's about who it is, not what it is. You know what I mean? So,
And I see this. There's a huge problem nowadays with cancel culture, and I don't agree with it, because I think that the best solution to hate speech is more speech, not silencing people, not making it so they can no longer speak out.
well, let's get into that. I'd like to. This is what I think like you and I think I'm going to have you on like once a month, because these are the types of conversations I want to have with someone that I like and respect, that's on the other side. Because, I'd come back with, well, what if we had shut down Hitler? What if we had not let him speak? What if we had not let him have rallies? Would that have
I
saved a lot of lives?
I think it would have just made him more of an extremist. I think that making them, the good thing about letting people speak is that you then allow them to expose themselves for who they are. If you silence them, if you cancel them, then they just go underground, and that's an even worse problem, because you don't know who these people are.
I feel you on that. It's funny because we privately on this program for a long time, we've had those conversations, because we could easily get some of the top right wing people, like, the worst people, and at times we've actually had some of them on the show, and people get upset. They're like, you're platforming them, and we amongst ourselves we question whether is this the right thing to do. And I think a lot of times it is for us, because I feel like we expose them. I think it depends on the platform, and really like what the purpose, and not even the purpose, what is the result of it. Looking at results, I think for something like Twitter or Facebook, I think that they're such a large corporation that they're profiting off of it and they're promoting it, and I think that's a lot of the issue with them versus maybe something that's a lot smaller.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
I think that, see, I'm a little split on this, because I do believe that Facebook is a private company, but they also also they take subsidies from the government.
That's right.
And so I haven't quite figured out where I land on that.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I'm going to post some of the comments too, because we have a lot of comments coming in. The first one is Michael, I love you.
I love you too, Matthew Bolton.
I don't even know what this one. This is probably one of your phrases. What is this one? Let's mate in Naugatuck.
Naugatuck is a city in Connecticut.
Okay, so is that where you're from? You're from Connecticut, right?
I am from Connecticut, but I'm not from Naugatuck.
Okay, it's one of your supporters. Here's a good one about the Rayla video. Nice of Rayla to verify she just stole your property. LOL. That's exactly what she did, didn't she, Michael?
Yeah, see, if you give people, enough rope, they'll hang themselves.
Did she get charged for that at all, or did you even bother
No.
trying to?
No.
It's funny.
I saw how
police on you after she assaulted and stole your property. She wanted to call the police. It was like, I was laughing at that one. You didn't even so go ahead. What happened from there?
So I understood like the tenor of the conversation with the police. They weren't going to do anything anyways, even if I had reported it. A lot of times, people, there are a few times when cops will like step in and, but mostly that's because they just don't want to fight,
Right.
Not because they particularly, care about my property or anything.
Right.
But most of the time, when people steal my property, the police just watch and do nothing.
He's hysterical is another one. They're asking about weddings. When's the wedding? I think are you married, Dianna Ploss? Is that another running joke here?
I don't know if you saw my latest video, but I proposed to Dianna when she was at court in Lynn District Court a few weeks ago, and she didn't answer me. But the positive thing, the thing I think you guys should look at here is that she never said no either. It's like the scene from Dumb and Dumber. So you're telling me there's a chance?
There is a chance. I really think there is something there. She seems to really like to say her name. It's funny how
she loves to hate me.
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
Like when the girl that's in class picks on a guy. It's kind of like, yeah. Oh, that's funny. Diana is my friend, Rod Weber writes. You take that back.
I'm sure she's a good friend to you, Rod.
We love you, Mike. There's more. Here's another comment. Laughing my ass off at these Trump people shows mental health is a big issue here. It's scary that the U.S. can arm every citizen with the amount of guns it has. Yeah.
And I want to make something clear. In my opinion, it's not only like the Trump supporters acting like this. It's both sides, in my opinion. And people think that just because I've been trolling Trump rallies, that automatically means I'm a liberal, and I'm not. I've been trolling Trump rallies because really those are all the rallies that are around right now. I'd be happy to troll, just as equally. I'd be happy to troll a left-wing rally as well. In fact, I think you guys would be interested in knowing. I actually trolled. I don't know if you know them. U.S. Senators Murphy and Blumenthal.
Yes. Yeah.
From Connecticut.
Yep.
They held a anti-gun press conference in New Haven, Connecticut, back in 2017, and I came with two signs actually. One saying "ban all the things," and another saying "we support pineapple pizza." And I hid the signs because I didn't want them to guess my intention right away.
Right.
And I waited until the press conference started, and one of the organizers of the rally or press conference actually asked me to stand right behind the podium to make it look like there was more people there, and I happily obliged. And as soon as the rally started, I held up my "We Support Pineapple Pizza" sign, and it made the whole press conference look like a joke.
There you go. And you know, I'm all about protesting and rallying against both sides. I've probably like gone after more Democrats and Republicans over the years myself. You know, people would consider me
Hmm.
left wing at this point, but I mean Marty Walsh. You know, I chose Tito Jackson. It's funny because I probably could have got him on the show. You know, one of the last campaigns, and I just chose his challenger again. I just said, you know what, f that guy. Allah bless America. That's one of the things that you say often. Allah bless America. I
Hmm.
think people want it on a T-shirt. That's another one, another comment that people are making.
I
And
actually have a T-shirt
you do.
with "Allah Bless America" on it.
Are you selling it to people right now?
Yep, it's on my website.
Like I said, you have a lot of phrases. You know, it's so funny how you come up with these phrases. Are those intentional? Like I think Allah bless America must be. What about say you're sorry? Like, do you think about like these phrases, or are they just natural occurrences of your speech, Michael?
I don't really do much thinking before the rally. It's mainly impromptu. I like to feed off of what they say to me, um, and it's impromptu.
Cool. Picard for president is another comment. Have you thinking about running for office at all?
To be honest, I would never run for political office because I think it's improper for any person who's not perfect to boss other people around, to think that they know what's better for their life than the individual.
Who's going to run things though? If I mean, because no one's perfect, right?
No one's perfect, but if I may say this, um, the counter argument doesn't really hold much sway either to me. If no one's perfect, you're going to put them in power to rule over a bunch of people.
See, I look at myself as more pragmatic because I'm looking at like what exists now. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like it and like the
I
reality of
understand.
it. Like it just that's to me where I think both sides kind of lose it. Like I feel like a lot of people don't have their feet on the ground, you know, and
Hmm.
realize like, you know, people say, "Oh, Biden didn't do anything good." It's like, you kidding me? Have you looked at what he's going to do for the single moms out there for their childcare so they can work? Like he's investing major dollars in people, you know. Unfortunately, it's not going to reach everybody, you know, and I know everyone's still not happy. I know there's healthcare issues. I'm upset myself personally about the healthcare, you know, but there's
the the
so much.
problem
Yeah.
the problem about the political system right now is it's designed so that you either pick the the lesser of two evils. I mean, or but that's what got us here in the first place.
But I'd say like
That's
the lesser of two evils is like progress versus no progress versus going backwards. You know what I mean? It's like if like if it's just a little better versus 10 steps back. Like, you know, versus even maybe not even 10 steps back. Like I feel like if Trump wins again, we're
mhm,
like Bulgaria or we're Russia. We're basically
yeah,
we're under a dictatorship. Like that's what I really feel like. I don't feel like Joe Biden is plotting the next 50 years to you know have his family rule the world. You know, I just don't. Where Trump, I really feel like, and not just him. Like if it's not him, like the money behind that, like there's you know
mhm.
there's some serious crazy forces at hand right now. That's what I'm worried about too. Uh,
And what about what Rod exposed in that, for instance, Hunter Biden getting like 500,000, or I forgot the money amount
that was a lot of
for
money.
like his
I thought that was
his first work.
yeah. I agree on that. Like I think that
So
the art deals for the Sun totally shady.
yeah.
I agree 100% on that.
And plus, you can't even tell who got it because they made it all a secret.
Right. But I
So
think there's a difference between having something like that where it's a son doing something shady versus the whole family and like every day like you know you can point to one thing on Hunter Biden. with the Trump family, for instance, you'd have to like go day by day by day because they're just so much. You know,
Mhm.
you can't even keep track of it. It's just so much. You have to like spend your whole life just tracking,
Yeah.
like whether it's Ivanka's, Chinese copyright or the Secret Service paying for golf carts and all this other crap. It's just
Mhm.
the fraud. But even beyond the
But
fraud, just the fact that this guy wanted to overthrow the votes, the democracy, like Trump won the first time. He won with less votes. I don't think that we should have tried to overthrow that election where he won. He won. It's like,
which is why I would protest the Trumpkins by
yeah,
saying, "Don't worry, even though we lost the electoral college and the popular vote, we still won."
right. I mean, that's what kills me. It's like I feel like they're just willing to throw away everything. It's like
Hmm.
we have some
But
more
the
comments. All pigs matter. That's another phrase that you're known for now, I guess, right?
yeah,
Controversial. Do you get afraid when because you've trolled some police now? Do you get afraid that some backdoor shit's gonna happen to you, like off the books, or they're gonna set you up? Do you get afraid, Michael? I want to ask you about that.
that's why I record everything. I've learned that. I don't know if you know anything about this incident, but back in 2015, I was protesting some police in Connecticut, the Connecticut State Police, and they came up to me, said it was illegal for me to record them, took my camera from me, and left the camera recording while they go back to their car and talk about how what I'm doing is legal, but that they have to come up with something to cover their ass. And I've learned ever since then, record from beginning to end, because you never know what you're going to catch on video. At that point, when that happened, I was afraid, like, that my um, that some backdoor shit was going to happen to me. Um, but at this point, I think my, notoriety somewhat helps, um, you know, because if anything did happen, I know that it would be a very public thing.
Definitely, Mike is the GOAT, greatest of all time. You make my day when you troll these anti-American MAGA loonies. It's another comment we just got. This is a funny comment from Darman Andrews Witch or something like that. Michael's interviewing Duncan Trussell. Nice. No, I'm interviewing. I guess I'm the guy who looks like Duncan Trussell, which is funny. I'm interviewing Michael. It's the other way around. Duncan Trussell is interviewing Michael Picard tonight. No, my name's Mike Crawford. I'm the guy who almost interviewed Duncan Trussell actually one time. I don't know what happened to that. We were supposed to do something through the Wilbur Theater. I kind of like him, even though Joe Rogan. I don't like Joe Rogan. What about you, Michael Picard? What do you think about Joe Rogan?
I don't listen to much Joe Rogan, to be honest with you. The last time I listened to him was when Alex Jones was on the show, and he said, "I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a bit retarded." That made for a perfect soundbite.
We got another one. Biden is destroying this country, says Poontang Pirate. I don't see how you can blame anything on Biden at this point. I think Trump destroyed the country, and Biden is trying to hold it together and pass a few good bills. Let's talk about the transportation infrastructure bill that we've been waiting for like a decade. All our roads are falling apart, all the bridges. I'm afraid every time I drive down the street. You drive under a bridge lately? I mean, we need some money for these things. I don't know. I think you guys are wrong. What's your comment about that, Michael? Do you think Biden is destroying the country?
I think Biden is just aloof and trying not to stumble over basic words.
Well, I think he's also got what I have, a speech impediment. He was a stutterer growing up, and now he's president of the United States, which, this is again, I like Biden because he stumbles over his words, and he's the president of the United States, and a lot of people feel fine with that. Like, that's great to me. It's kind of like me hosting the show. People
Yeah,
for some
absolutely.
reason like me hosting the show, and I'm a guy who had a speech impediment. Like, I'm not supposed to be hosting a show, but I got
People
over it.
like people who overcome things.
Yeah, I think people need to look into things more and not, be so superficial for the joke. I get it. You think he's a bubbling idiot, but I don't think he is. I think the guy, I like him. Like, I think he's a little shady. I think he might be a little crooked, like most politicians. But, I think he's a working class guy who had the smarts and the personality to get through all these years of political BS. I don't know. I mean, some of the things I don't like about him, I'll be honest with you, is his voting record. Some of the things that he passed, like, obviously the
Like the
crime
Patriot
bills.
Act.
Yeah. So that's kind of the stuff. But we're
I love Rod's video about the singing Joe Biden wrote the Patriot Act.
right. And I think that's legitimate criticism. But I would come back with that. I don't think that's the Joe Biden that we have today. Like, he's a politician, and a lot of politicians do change their mind. And sometimes it's about their personal beliefs. Sometimes it's about where the people are and where his supporters are. And I'm fine with that, especially if they move in the right direction. I did cannabis reform for the longest time. One of the things we learned
Good for
early is,
you.
like, when a cop or a sheriff comes out pro cannabis, you don't bash them and say, that's a friggin' cop, we hate them. No, you say, wow, congratulations, now get the rest of your cop friends to do the same thing. And so I don't know. I just feel like if someone comes on the right side of things, you got to give them at least the credit on that.
No politician, no person who aspires to be, aspires to go to a greater office is who they are when they're unpopular.
Okay. So let's talk about some other things besides the comments, because they're all about Biden. There's a lot of comments on Biden. Michael, be nice to Joe Biden or say you're sorry. What do you think about that, Michael? Should you say you're sorry? No.
I think Joe Biden should say he's sorry to me.
Take that back is another one. We just had another comment. It's funny. All the comments are phrases that we all know from Michael Picard. Watching Michael Picard, you should be working for, like, Madison. What do they call that? They sell you shit. What is that? You know what I'm talking about, Michael? No.
No.
The PR firms.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Advertising companies, because you come up with all the phrases that people remember. There's another comment. Michael Picard is a one-man Jedi Force. I love Michael Picard. So funny. So I said we're going to get off the comments. We'll come back to the comments. Keep leaving the comments because we'll keep reading them and posting them out. Madison Avenue, said Rod Weber. Thank you. That's exactly what I was looking for. Madison Avenue. I'm glad people are listening today, so we can update as I screw up. So and Rod has this would be one of the next questions. Rod has 2020, the dumpster fire coming out. It's coming out everywhere, but it's also going to have a live premiere in Arlington at the Capitol Theater, it's going to kill me because I'm probably going to miss this thing. This is like one of my favorite theaters around for a number of reasons. Number one, it was a place I used to go to a lot when I was in college, and it also is right down the street from where my best friend, the King of Pop, Michael Malta, grew up. So it's like a very nostalgic place for me. And it's a very cool place.
I've never been.
Yeah, the premiere on it used to be a place that used to have, like, cheap movies. That's why I still like it, but it was nice. 2020, the dumpster fire is coming up on Friday night. I know that you're planning to attend, right?
Yes, I am.
Can we talk about what you might dress as, the uniform that you showed me, or is that out of bounds?
No, because it's a secret. I told Rod and Lauren that I can't wait to show up and for them to see me.
So we could say that you're going to have a surprise for everyone when you attend that premiere on Friday night.
Yes, surprise for everyone, and everyone who knows Rod and Lauren will get it.
I know all about it, and I think it's going to be hilarious.
I agree.
All right, here's another question I have for you. Who do you think is more violent, since you've had some violent encounters with them, Dianna Ploss or Rayla Campbell?
I'd have to go with Dianna Ploss.
Ooh, why? Is there a reason?
Because she's tried to steal my GoPro. She's stolen my phone before. Rayla hasn't really touched me besides taking my sign. That's it.
Okay.
And as far as like who's stolen the most property, it's definitely been Dianna.
And yesterday there was some kind of hearing, or was it today? It was yesterday, right?
Today.
Oh, it was today. Okay. So there
Yeah,
was
it
a
was just this morning.
hearing this morning with Dianna Ploss. What was that all about?
So back in October of 2020, on Halloween, I believe, she got arrested in Plymouth, Massachusetts for allegedly assaulting a friend of mine. And the reason I say allegedly is because we're all innocent until proven guilty, even Dianna. And so yeah, she was charged with assault and battery, and maybe disorderly conduct. I forgot. I think it was assault and battery and disorderly conduct.
Okay. Going, do you, like, are there cases against you right now from Dianna Ploss? Is there anything going on there?
No,
No.
but probably not for long after what I did today.
You did something today.
I
Should we
did
talk
something
about it or
today.
not? Is that going to get you in trouble?
No, we can talk about it. It's fine.
So what happened today?
So I got word that Dianna Ploss was having a hearing today, and I got the link to that hearing, and I Zoom bombed her. And for those of you who are unaware what Zoom bombing is, it's when you log on to a Zoom session. Zoom is video chat, and when you're not allowed to.
I think I heard that. I think her last comment, like she was the one who realized that's Michael Picard. She said that, right?
Yep, that was her. I'm so touched that she realizes my voice.
Oh, I want to ask. Here's another question. This is this is the poll question. I want all of our commenters to answer tonight. This is like the question of the night. This is my show is called the Young Jurks. Occasionally, we're going to start doing polls of the audience this way, and this is the poll question of the night. Dianna Ploss for governor or prison? Which do you think is more likely? Michael Picard,
Definitely prison.
Prison.
Definitely prison.
Okay.
I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell that she will ever become governor.
So the Young Jurks question of the day: Dianna Ploss for governor or prison? I would like to see people's comments. I want to see if they agree with Michael Picard. I think it's going to be probably 90% agree. It's more likely prison. I mean, I think both are on. Yeah, actually, prison probably isn't that unlikely. Who knows? I'm not going to say it's very likely, but yeah, it's definitely more likely than governor, I would say. But that's the poll question. I want to hear from people. I want to know what you think. We got a couple other questions. So we basically what do you think about her governor race? Like what's the purpose? Is it to raise money, to raise hate?
I think it's a publicity stunt. I think it's to get her name more known around the state, and probably to raise money too. That just it doesn't have to be one or the other.
And how do you think she'll even get on the ballot?
No.
Yeah,
I'm
not sure that she'll get on the ballot either.
She doesn't have too many supporters.
So you really have, there's been this whole where she would show up in Swampscott every week outside the governor's, house. I guess that's going to go on for maybe another year because the governor has announced he's not going to run for re-election. So that's eventually going to come to an end. Do you continue to follow her around on her, her campaign for governor? Are you kind of done with her? What about like Jeff Deal running for governor? Have you ever thought about trolling him? Have you?
I had never heard of him until Dianna did that live stream the other day. And may I just say, it's so funny to me that her hero Trump nominated what's his name,
Jeff
What?
Deal.
Jeff Deal instead of Diana.
Yeah. I'm just wondering because he's probably the more likely Republican, and he would be someone easily trolled. I've seen other people do it. They're not as gifted as you, so I was just wondering. Do
I
you
would
have
absolutely love to troll him as well.
do you have any plans like I know that you got your YouTube. Um, I thought you might have a movie coming out or something, but I'm just wondering, do you ever get hit up by bigger media companies because you're getting a major traction right now, or are you just too risky for them? Like, are what are your longer term plans with this? All of it.
So I got hit up by Newsweek back in the summer of 2020. But that's when I held up when I debuted my All Pigs Matter sign at a rally in Torrington, Connecticut. As far as the bigger plans, I would love to start, touring to different, as 2022 rather comes around. I'd love to start, going to events in other states, sort of traveling, sort of like what Rod did with his movie. He went to or he went to most of the states, anyways, and did some trolling, did some filming and stuff like that. So I'd love to start traveling. In fact, I have something coming up in January where I'll be traveling to DC, and I'm not going to tell everyone what it is right now because that'll just ruin the surprise. But I plan on traveling to starting 2022 off big.
I love the comments too. We're gonna go back to some of the comments. This is a good one. Actually, this is actually I was being sarcastic, but no, they're all good, y'all. Because this was a good one. It says we are 30 likes. Let's get to 45. It'll help us get more views. So they're helping us get viewers. I love your listeners, your supporters out there. But I want to this is one not very nice. Dude got gray beard and calls his show Young Jurks. Well, you got to realize that the show has been going on so long that it gave me gray hair. Like, seriously, when I first started this show, I didn't have a gray beard. I didn't. It's been going like a long time. And it's gone through like studios and changes and different co hosts. Seriously, I think we've been running like 7 years in different formats. And we've almost quit and stopped it. And I don't know. We're keeping it going. Number one, we won an award this year, a big award. And we really didn't do that many shows. So, like, I feel like a lot of people know the name and know me, and they wanted us back, so we're back. But yeah, I got gray. I guess all the work caused me to go gray. So when I started the show,
And tell him to take it back.
Yeah, and take it back. And number one, I'm still younger than Howie Carr. I'm still younger than all those other old talk radio hosts. I'm probably like younger than Joe Rogan. No one gives him shit. I guess he doesn't call himself the Young Jurks, but hey. So people are commenting. They're saying Michael. Where is it? I'm losing the comments. Michael Picard.
One more thing,
for
you
prison
should.
guard. That's the new one. They're not answering. They want you for prison guard. So you what did you have, Michael?
I was gonna say you should now change the show to the Old Jerks.
The Old Jerks. Well, that's funny because we had a feud with another show. Like if we were friendly with this show kind of, but they were like Barstool Sports. They were doing cannabis, and then they got kind of weird with us, and we were kind of feuding on Twitter. And they came back with that like the Old Jerks. I was like I should actually use this. I'm not sophisticated enough to keep all the digs. Like there's another video I want to play of a woman totally bashing you, and it's so funny. Like the ones that bash us are like the best content for our shows. It's like I love that shit.
I love it when someone like personally attacks you because that's how you know you've won.
Yeah,
like they have
they
have nothing else to say
when it's specific. Like when it's like about like my gray or like anything like like I wrestle. I'm a wrestler. I'm a goon. So like if it's like that, it's like wow, you guys are really invested. You found out a lot about me. Wow, right?
Hmm. By the way, I challenge you to a wrestling match.
You will? Do you
Yeah.
wrestle?
No.
Are you coming on to me? Is this like, or is no? You're not. No, you just
This
want
is
to.
this is actually a sexual come on.
It is.
It
Wow,
is.
I'm
Yep.
flattered. I'm flattered. I don't wrestle like that though. Like I'm, you know,
You don't
I'm
wrestle that way.
no, I'm violent. Well, when I wrestle, I am. I mean, I don't want to hurt anybody, but you know, it might happen if it's in the rules. I mean, you know, I remember my coach yelled at me one time because I busted a kid's nose open. He was bleeding all over the mat, and I pushed him out, like, because I had him pinned, and it was like, you know, take a break. The kid needs to fix his nose. My coach was like, finish him, like, you know. I was like, hey. And then he comes back and he almost beat me. That kid was pretty good, actually. My coach probably had a point, and not in like a nasty, violent way. It's like you're gonna win the match if you just pin this kid, but you know, that's
I never knew
wrestling.
you were. I never knew you were a wrestler. Now I ought to hire you as a bodyguard.
Yeah, but you know, I'm old and I'm slow and haven't really wrestled. Like, I'd still be able to take most people down if they weren't like a wrestler or MMA. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I still got the skills, but I wouldn't last like 10 minutes doing it. Like, it's brutal. Like,
Mm.
if someone really knows how to go at it, and I also have a bad back, so like I could also paralyze myself in like 2 seconds if I went the wrong way. So who knows? You know,
Yeah.
I still got skills. Like, I'm not afraid if something happens, but hopefully it ends up quick. Well, one of
That's
my friends, he's a Republican. I'll just call him Connor. He always on Facebook talks about the time I picked up JJ in college. JJ was like huge. And I had my Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, where they didn't believe it because I had stopped wrestling. You know, they never even saw me wrestle.
Mhm.
I wrestled for like 1 year in college. I kept getting hurt, and I slammed JJ, and they still talk about it. It was like Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant, but it was real. It wasn't, you know, staged. But yeah, enough about me. This is about Michael Picard tonight. It's all about Michael. So I want to know more about you. Like, so you live in Connecticut. Do you do this full time? Do you work? Do you have a hustle, like a side hustle that pays the bills, or does this pay the bills? What are you doing?
So I do video production for companies in Connecticut, and I also go to school full time. Um, I I'm majoring in English right now, and then I want to go to law school. So I just do this. Um, I do this as a hobby.
Someone wrote, it's funny. I love the comments. Cobra Kai. Yeah, my story was kind. Oh, that's Lauren. I wrote that. My story was kind of Cobra Kai. It was, but my coach
Cobra Kai never dies.
Yeah, my coach is a good guy. He doesn't want anyone hurt. He just wanted me to win the match, get the points for the team. You know,
Mhm.
wrestling is real. All politics is professional wrestling. Maybe. I don't know. I think politics might even be worse than professional wrestling, right? I don't know.
I agree.
I'm wondering if we should.
Well, I think if I may interject,
Yes, you
that
may.
Rod may mean that politics is fake, just like professional wrestling.
Well, that's my point though. Like, I'm a fan of professional wrestling to some degree, and I don't like the fake attachment to it because I don't think it is fake. And obviously, I don't mean that the matches are not they are predetermined. The results are predetermined.
And they're
But
choreographed, if I'm not
yeah, but
mistaken.
it's like saying figure skating is fake. Figure skating is all preordained, right?
Hmm.
I mean, when they have a figure skating competition, the results aren't preordained. But what I'm saying is they have a routine, and so wrestling, there's a lot of athleticism to it, and there's also a
Hmm.
lot of backstage stuff that happens. So like the results sometimes, the characters that the actors or wrestlers, whatever you want to call them, behind the scenes, let me tell you, they're having fights behind the scenes on who wins the match. You know what I mean? It's like, so there is a sport to it. It's very interesting, wrestling. And I give
It
those guys a
is.
lot of credit because a lot of them get hurt. They die young. They work all the time. I've known a bunch of them. I actually not know really well, but in the wrestling world, I actually used to not coach. I coached against. his brother, John Cena's brother, in high
Oh
school
wow.
wrestling. So, you know, John Cena, I love him. Number one, I think he's a great
John
guy.
Cena is great.
Yeah, I like his whole family. I knew his brothers. Didn't really know John that well. I met him the day I actually got my bad back. He actually helped me. He came out and helped me. But I knew his brother really well, Matt. Good people. But yeah, we should talk about other things again. I'm going back to my wrestling. People wanna talk about wrestling tonight. Kayfabe is a stratified system of deception which undergirds the world of pro wrestling. Politics is no different. Yeah, but that's gone away, kind of, is what I'm saying. You know. And even when it did exist, like there's stuff behind the scenes that happened. Like when I say cave, you know, that's all gone away, is because like now everyone knows what's going behind the scenes. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that's more the sport than the fake stuff. It's weird. Do you like wrestling, Michael? Like pro wrestling?
I don't really watch it a lot.
Yeah, I don't really watch it.
In general, I don't watch TV a lot.
Me neither. Unless it's a documentary or, you know, what I saw recently was Squid Game. I like that one. That was good.
I haven't seen Squid Game, although people have been telling me to watch it.
I would definitely check that out. I kind of like those, you know, I don't know what the hell you call that. Maybe a science fiction type show. It's kind of, it's an interesting show. It definitely deals with a lot of class warfare stuff and, it's, you know, gaming, just everything. Stuff that goes on in other countries. I don't even know what this comment means. CNN 50, CBS 50, NBC 50. What does that mean?
I tell people at rallies that I'm paid by George Soros, NBC,
Oh, that's
CNN.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
I get paid. I tell them I get paid 50 by each of them.
So they're quoting you again. Our commenters are great tonight. They're commenting all on the different phrases that Michael Picard uses. Have you? You know, it's interesting because a lot of times those companies, I get really upset that they've stolen content I had without like giving any attribution, without giving any payment. I noticed Andy Go, whatever his name is there, that right-wing troll reporter, not even a reporter, whatever he is, a propagandist. He's getting sued now by people for doing similar stuff, stealing work and not giving any attribution. Has that happened to you at all, Michael? Because I see your videos are getting really popular. Have you noticed other people stealing your content?
Yeah, like they'll repost, and sometimes, you know, they'll ask me, and I'll say no problem, just put an attribution, you know, just let people know my channel. But a lot of other people, you know, have you know, and I don't think they mean any ill by it. You know, they just love my content and want to spread it through their subscribers.
Andy No was the name I was saying. Rod Weber just corrected
Okay.
me. I pronounced it correctly. I guess Andy stole from Rod as well. Yeah, I think that's different. To me, if a fan is reposting stuff so more people see it, I have no issue with that. I think my bigger issue is when an ABC affiliate on Channel 5 steals my video, puts it up on Channel 5, and then says I don't exist. And that's basically what they did. They said that there was no grassroots cannabis community, and this while they're showing the video that they stole from my YouTube of myself, who was the grassroots cannabis community. That one stung. I should have sued them, actually, you know, knowing my rights now. But that's the stuff that drives me crazy, is when the big media steals your content, or someone bigger than you steals your content. Not a fan. A fan, I think, is
Generally, if it's for like commentative purposes, you know, the law will allow that as long as you attribute, you know, the source of the video. If they haven't, then, you know, that's wrong.
And then again, to me, that's a different situation. If someone's giving a review of my show or something, that's totally fine too. But I'm talking about where they just steal your content, don't even say who you are. They're lazy. They're looking, you know, they basically wanted to show a scene from the Boston Freedom Rally, and they found my content, put it up. But what really drove me crazy is why they had the content up. They said there was no grassroots cannabis community in Massachusetts, which was a bold-faced lie. They were showing it on this freaking screen. It was just unbelievable, the gall. And that happens, I know, a lot. You know, I've seen it happen. Andy Go has been doing this to everybody lately.
Yeah, that's a big issue.
Yeah. And I had a I had a blog website, mycan.net, for a number of years. A lot of people might remember it. And people still go there. It's still linked to a lot of places. And basically what happened is I couldn't renew the domain because I had canceled the credit card, got a new credit card, and I couldn't figure out how to change the billing on Google. Google kept changing the
Hmm.
goddamn payments. I should have never signed up through them. It was my biggest regret. And I lost the domain because I couldn't pay the friggin' $20. It was so stupid. And of course, I had the money, and I was so aggravated. But someone bought that domain in Connecticut right away, and they put a website up and made it look like it was still me.
I hate
I
that.
should have sued that guy too. I basically told him to change some shit. He did change it, but people are shady out there. They will just literally try to be you so that they can send people spam links. It's unbelievable.
It is.
So a couple other questions for you. Like, you've been arrested a number of times, right?
I have
What's your
4 or
advice?
5 times now.
Yeah, 4 or 5 times. Have you been convicted of anything?
No.
What were some of the arrests that you were arrested for?
My first arrest, excuse me, my first arrest took place in New York City back in 2017. I was on a public sidewalk advocating for jury nullification. And for those of you in the audience who don't know what jury nullification is, it is the ability of a jury or a juror to acquit a defendant in spite of the evidence finding him guilty because they believe the law to be either misapplied or immoral.
Immoral, like cannabis. Like if I always wanted to be on
Exactly.
jury so I could say nope, not guilty. I'm not convicting anyone of cannabis, not even cannabis trafficking. No,
In
no
fact,
way. Or
today,
any drug crime. I wouldn't convict anyone of a drug crime, especially possession or convicting addicts. Go ahead. Sorry.
I wouldn't either. The drug war is an absolute travesty. But what jury nullification is used for a lot today is nonviolent drug crimes, like marijuana possession and stuff like that. Um, that's mainly where it's applied today. Anyways, I was on a public sidewalk advocating for jury nullification uh, when a cop came out and told me that I couldn't be within 200 feet of the courthouse and hand that out. So I refused to leave after they told me to leave because I knew, public sidewalk is where you're supposed to have the most free speech protection. And they arrested me. And now, of course, within a few hours after I was arrested, the assistant district attorney dropped all the charges. They wanted to charge me with. They were throwing around 3 different charges. One was criminal contempt, which is a statute that makes it illegal to stand within 200 feet of a courthouse and express yourself. Uh, the second one was they wanted to charge me with uh, jury tampering. They're basically saying that even though I never asked if they were a jury, I never knew if they were a juror. Um, Merely handing them out to passerbys, they said suffices as jury tampering. And the third outlandish charge that they wanted to level against me is wiretapping.
It's funny. A dispensary tried to claim that we tampered with their election somehow. It's funny, and they lost on that. It was so stupid. That was with the labor board. That was one of the. There was several reasons this year we kind of backed up a little bit and took a break, and that was one of the tough moments too on the show where we
Mm-hmm.
got caught up in some union BS, and it wasn't the union's fault. It was the employer's fault. The employer, the shady employer. And we're going to keep covering them. We're going to keep covering all of them. The shady
Good.
cannabis employers in Massachusetts with the moldy cannabis and the Cannabis Control Commission that doesn't do its job. But jury nullification is definitely worthy. I love that. people should be doing that all the time.
I agree.
We've been talking about Lauren Pespiza. I know that you're a supporter of Rod and Lauren. Lauren, maybe.
Well, Lauren, anyways.
Oh, Lauren, not Rod. That's right. Running the joke here. So you're a supporter of Lauren, like me. I'm more of a supporter of Lauren. Lauren used to be my co-host, so I love you. Actually, I do like you, Rod, but Lauren gets special dibs because she was a long-time co-host of the show. And
Rod's all right.
Yeah, Rod's okay, but Lauren's special. So Lauren is looking maybe at a grand jury, some crap going up in the state of Maine. If this goes to a jury trial, would you go up there and do some jury nullification work, or would you be doing some trolling? How do you troll a federal court case? I don't know if you can without going to jail. You have any plans to help them out?
Absolutely. If this indictment goes through, then I'll do whatever I can to help them out, including stand outside of the courthouse and hand out jury nullification flyers.
Pespiza just weighed in. Speak of the devil, she says in her comment, I got the wrong comment up, but here it is. This is the funny comment. She says, "Oh my God, you two sound like Creed." Talking about the Boston cop turned FBI agent that's been harassing her. We do sound like, I can sound like, that's a funny thing. I if that guy shows up, I'm probably just going to start imitating him. And here's the video. No one's getting me on a form, whatever, without a video recording. I listened to my attorney, Harvard Silverglate. He says, always record the FBI. If the FBI ever shows up your house, record everything. Then you have a document for yourself to protect yourself, because the FBI are known liars and they write it up on the form. And once it's in the form, it's gospel and you can't contest it unless you have video or audio of it.
Mm-hmm. And guys, if the police come up to you and they're investigating you, for the love of God, the only thing you should be saying is, "I want a lawyer." That's people. It annoys me how much people are cooperative with the police. Their job is not, they're not there to be your friends. They're there to investigate you. And why make it easy on them to do that?
So we're the Young Jurks. My name is Mike Crawford. I'm with Michael Picard, having a great conversation about all kinds of things. Dianna Ploss, we were talking about Rayla Campbell. I'm wondering, where do you go from here, Michael? I know you talked about traveling the country, but locally, are you going to kind of be lost at some of these? Because the Trump thing seems to be declining now. I don't know if it's gonna. Where do you go from here? Locally, is there anything locally you're looking at, or is there just plenty of groups still, and they're still planning on doing rallies? What's up?
Well, I hear Diana's running for governor, so that should give me new content.
So that's it, really. That's the key, actually. That's the new paradigm, I guess. It's not Diana for Trump, it's Diana for governor.
Mm-hmm. I stopped for a while trolling Diana, because there was nothing better I could do to troll her than actually finding out where she was staying at her Airbnb in Washington, D.C., and knocking on the door and yelling, "Hey, Diana!" There was nothing better I could do than that. I told my friends there would have to be something really, really good to get me to troll Diana again.
If you don't mind me asking, how did you find out where her Airbnb was in Washington, D.C.?
I'll just leave it at she has a troll in her camp. She has a mole in her camp.
Oh, there's a mole. You have a mole inside. Let me ask you another question. Do you think, because this has become a topic of discussion among a lot of us, do you think that she actually broke the law in D.C.? Because there's been a lot of, she did a live video. It looked like she might not have crossed the line. But I'm wondering, what do you think? Did you hear anything? Do you think that she...
Well, I was standing on the same steps she was. I was there in D.C. on January 6th. So if that's committing a crime, then I've also committed a crime. But I didn't see there were any barricades or anything saying, keep out. But what's funny about that is I actually got a hold of one of the FBI Most Wanted posters from that day, and I photoshopped Diana's head in the most wanted, and there were like so many people like circulating that around as if Diana had actually
Arrested.
been wanted by the FBI, and I only meant that as satire, something funny, but it turns out it got a life of its own.
It's like Russian agitprop. You're putting it back on them.
hmm
What about QAnon? Have you trolled any of those freaks?
Um, there are a lot of those people mixed in with like
The
at the
Trumpers.
Trump rallies and stuff like that. I can't say that I've like specifically gone to a QAnon event,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've, by virtue of trolling the Trumpkins, I've trolled them as well.
Let me ask you another question. You've been to all these rallies, especially like locally in Massachusetts, because most of my audience has always been the local audience in Mass. Where did you see the craziest like violence and out of control, nasty people? What town? Like what rally? Because you were at a bunch of different rallies, in different cities and towns. I know Swampscott obviously has been a center of it, but most of those people aren't from Swampscott, like some of the other rallies where they actually had
Mhm.
like local people. Out of those other rallies, did you notice any towns like that had kind of the biggest amount of goons?
I would say Wilmington, and Rod Weber was actually there with me. He had his huge Trump penis sign, and but yeah, I would definitely say Wilmington
Was
because
that the one that
it,
Rod got tackled and but the cops are up there on the podium and like the
yeah,
gazebo? Yeah.
yeah. So that was the rally where a guy threatened to get his 12 gauge and shoot me in the eye.
Were you scared?
Um, Mostly people who threaten to do something won't actually do it; they'll just do it. Um, so I just kind of de-escalated the situation by, when he told me he was going to get his 12 gauge, and I was like, "Ooh, that sounds kinky."
Tell me
Um,
about speaking of kinky. Tell me about this guy Samuel, because I know there was a video where you were like, "Where are you, thou Samuel?" And there's a question, Michael. Did you get Samuel to go on a romantic date with you? Who is Samuel? Tell
no,
us about
not yet. Samuel, his name is Sam Johnson. He's part of. Have you heard of the group Super Happy Fun America?
Oh yes, tell us about
Yeah.
them.
So um, he's involved with that group. I'd say like he's probably one of the two African Americans who are the only two African Americans involved in that group. And uh, I first met him at one of Rayla's rallies. I think it was in Randolph. Rayla had a rally, and I was holding up my Allah Bless America sign, and he comes up to me. Again, our meeting was purely like accidental. I wasn't seeking him out or anything like that. But he came up to me, and he used the excuse of the nightclub shooting in Orlando, the gay bar, to say that all Muslims hate gays. Um, and it just surprised me because, I've heard a little bit about his story, and he's been like persecuted before for being gay.
Mm.
And he actually went through conversion therapy. His
Oh
parents
God.
put him through conversion
He
therapy.
sounds like he needs some compassionate help.
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff's tough.
And I was thinking, sorry,
You
go
asked
ahead.
me if I know Super Happy Fun America. I know this group very well. One of the things that I'll never forget is when the previous group before that, you said, the free speech group, they're all the same people. Rod Weber's shown that. They're the
Yep.
same groups. They just rebrand a new name every couple of years. And Happy Fun America seemed to stick with them. So they're kind of sticking with that. But at one point, they were resist Marxism for a short time. And during that time, they put me on a docs list. I would like a target list that they were going to come after me. They were going to come after. It was funny because it was all Democratic Socialists of America who they were like, these are the Antifa people, and then Mike Crawford, Young Jurks. And it's just funny because I hadn't even, I don't know, if you've noticed over the last couple of years, I don't even go to the cannabis events anymore. Never mind, I don't go to any of the Antifa or the fashion. I've never been to any of those events. The only thing I've done is cover it remotely. And I exposed, one of their members in the cannabis community within Masscan. And so for being a good reporter that covered and got rid of this little fascist out of the Masscan community, I got put on a target list that they were, had to get security at my home, had to worry about, some lone nutcase coming to my home. But, I'm not worried about it because if they do come to my home, they're going to get the wrestling mic, So good luck to them. But, those are they're just little cowards. That's my opinion. It's like, that's the kind of shit that's like, oh, I'm gonna put you in a docs list. We're gonna come get you, and then they never do anything. It's like you're a little. They're a joke, and it's funny because some of them one of their main people, Brandon Navone, we actually had on our show, and we allowed him to defend himself because he got fired when he was part of the first event, and he was like, I'm not really part of this. I didn't know who was gonna be. He basically a bullshit artist, and now he's like fully, part of their whole movement. It's like we were way fairer to them than they were with us, and then we got put on a docs list. It's like you bunch of losers. Go ahead. Sorry.
Brandon Avome was in my video from the recent Boston Commons.
Yeah, you gave him a hug.
Super happy.
You gave him a hug, didn't you?
No, that was in Copley Square.
That was a different one.
That was a different one. But yeah, he's seen in my.
What do you think about him now? What I mean, because he came on my show like, oh, I'm not really with these guys, But
from what I hear, he used to be a libertarian,
right?
But he's not that now. And he'll just when he sees me, like he'll pretend to be nice and everything, but then he'll push me out of the event. Literally, like push me out. And
it's funny, they're all about free speech until they don't like the people who are covering them, myself or you, it looks like. I mean, that's when they're pushing you out. They're putting me on a list that they're going to come after. Yeah. I thought it was funny too. There was this is good. Rod Weber, did you see Brandon's interview get ruined with "Let's Go Brandon"? That was hilarious, actually.
I was with Rod when he did that. It was hilarious. I put it in my last video. The one from back in October or November, I forgot which month now.
I love that too. Like it's so funny when the media wants to take these little fascists very seriously and interview them. And I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but with the time when I was up there with Dianna and Swampscott, like I was ruining it for the rest of the media, and they were getting mad at me, and I was telling them to fuck off because I'm like, you shouldn't even be covering these people. If you're not doing what I'm doing and mocking the shit out of them, if you're gonna do a puff piece story on them, get the hell out of here. Go find a murderer or something. Like I hate that when they really do take them serious and they're not like what we're doing, which is mocking them.
Yeah. They're a lot of fun to mock.
Yeah, and Rod Weber's talking about basically what they did is they started saying, not even "Let's Go Brandon," they said "F Joe Biden." Why the mainstream press is trying to interview the fascists, and so it ruined. The mainstream is going to turn it on turn it off when you say "F Joe Biden," which I think is hilarious because these little fascists are afraid to say "F Joe Biden." I mean, give me a break.
Right. I may have to take a page from Rod Weber's book.
What's
and
that?
start trolling the media as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially the ones who deserve it, the larger ones.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see you do some trolls of the media. I'm looking at more comments. We got a lot of viewers tonight. I guess. I mean, it's getting late. We should probably wrap it up tonight. We could sit here and talk about things all night, though. Honestly, we've like scratched the surface, Michael.
Yeah, we could probably do this all night if we wanted to.
Would you be down to be doing more shows like this? We just maybe talk about the topics of the day, even.
Absolutely.
Like general politics, like even people like these kind of conversations, especially about the philosophy. And I want to ask you about Alex Jones. What do you think about him, that kind of character? Because you did bring him up earlier.
I did bring him up, and my whole family like loves Alex Jones. Yeah, my family is like completely like conservative. They're the QAnon type. You know, they're extremely, extremely religious, and so you can imagine how much fun it is at family get-togethers.
What do they think about your videos and your popularity? I mean, they must know how.
They absolutely hate my videos.
Do
Like they don't even think it's they don't get the concept of satire. Like they
And
don't
do they
get
know?
that it's a joke.
Do they get that you're popular? That the amount of support you get?
Yeah, they do. But they think I actually like, you know, they think I'm like demon possessed and
It doesn't matter because you're demon possessed.
Mhm.
It's funny. That's so where you should be the most accepted. That's tough, and I know that feeling a lot of times. We all have that a lot. Well, not all of us, but a lot of us have that with our family members.
Right.
It's funny
So
that
in
Alex.
terms,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to answer your question about Alex Jones.
Yes, that's right.
I actually got one back in I think it was 2018. I got a hold of his cell phone number. That's actually on Facebook. You guys can see that. And I called him, you know, saying that I worked for a secret government lab, and that I had some information about the humanoids that I needed to get him, and that you know the government was after me for this information.
Did he call you back or anything?
Sadly, he never called me back.
Yes, but
I
this
think
guy's
I think I drunk dialed him one too many times.
You know, it's fun.
But
I want to ask you a
Alex
question.
Jones is he's entertaining. I don't agree with his politics, but he is entertaining.
Oh, he's definitely an entertainer. That's probably the best thing I can say about him. He's an entertainer.
Hmm.
I want to ask you a question about him. If you like, we're talking about my gray beard and my age. Who do you think's older, myself or Alex Jones, and by how much?
I would say Alex Jones.
By how much do you think? Like he's like 5 years older, 10 years older, a year older?
Um, I would say anywhere between 5 to 10 years.
I would say so too, but it's not. He's younger than me.
Really?
I put a video out maybe about 10 years ago calling that out.
Hmm.
And it got a lot of views. It's a Mike Can, video. And it's funny because right after that, he went on, not him, but his producer, Kevin Booth, went on my buddy's show right after I put out that video. And then everyone else caught on to it. And that was kind of like when the Bill Hicks thing came out. Do you remember that? People calling him Bill
I
Hicks.
do. Yeah.
I mean, I wonder, like he looks, I mean, I'm not one of these double conspiracy people, but there's just something really strange about the whole Alex Jones thing. I always wonder if there was some kind of weird money behind him. I used to think it was CIA. Now I think it's like Russian money. I don't know, probably both, probably every side, there's just something.
Yeah.
And I wonder if he's not protected. I can't believe the guy's not in jail from just the FTC violations at this point.
Hmm. I've always wanted to troll him in real life.
Oh yeah.
When I was in Washington D.C. back in November of 2020, he was there too. It was the Stop the Steal event, and I tried to we tried to find him. We meaning Steve and I, but we ended up finding playing Where's Waldo with Dianna instead.
Someone posted a really good comment. If you want 1 million Instagram followers, just have a conspiracy. Oh my God. I mean, that's the truth. Like so much of my content has always kind of been the serious stuff, like what we were doing, like policy work and protests and things. But then I would throw in like some conspiracy stuff and that shit would go crazy. Like every time, like the Bill Hicks, Alex Jones stuff. I didn't even call him Bill Hicks. I just questioned the age thing. And
Right.
that shit went crazy. Like, and that's a lot of this kind of stuff. We would just kind of like poke little things and people go nuts on that stuff. It's amazing. You could absolutely just make up bullshit and get rich and famous now. It's so true.
Yeah.
That's what
Well, actually,
doing.
One of my most popular videos, which is the Connecticut State Police video, there was an actual conspiracy between the police to claim I did some stuff that I didn't do. and that was one of my most popular videos.
It was.
So, yeah.
It was a real conspiracy, not like just joking around or bullshit.
No, not just joking around. It was
Because
real.
I find like
you
that
could hear them on the recording
trying to
say
set
that
you up.
we got to cover our ass, and that everything I'm doing is legal, but that they gotta charge me with something.
That's the funniest thing too. Is like people will believe like all these crazy bullshit conspiracy theories, but then they won't look at like the ones that are right there in front of them every single day, which is that cops make up shit to put people in jail daily, that there are
Yeah.
innocent people in jail, that they no innocent people in jail, but Trump won the election. Like
Exactly.
it's like the conspiracies are right in front of you, like the
Mhm.
FBI stuff. I mean, it's just which I'm trying to, hopefully, I know Rod's probably going to be reaching out to Harvey Silverglate, who just wrote this great column about the FBI and how
I
the
saw
FBI
that.
should just completely be disbanded. And I've come to that conclusion after the last couple of years, and not just because of Lauren Pespiza, which is a big part of that now, obviously as well, and I'm frustrated with that. But so much of the stuff that they've done over the years, from
Mhm.
the way that they treated the Black Panthers, the way that they treated Malcolm X, and modern, the way that they just handle criminal cases all the time, from Whitey Bulger
Yeah.
to the serial killer in New York, Scarpa, to even locals and Rivera mafia guys. Like these guys get license to kill. License to kill isn't 007 in Britain. It's an FBI confidential informant protected by the FBI who's a mobster. Those are the ones who get to kill. Like anyone who's a confidential informant by the FBI gets protection. And the more you have to give them, the more you can kill people, apparently. I mean, that's just been the MO, and it needs to be exposed. And these are the conspiracies right in front of our eyes that we know.
Corruption is built into the FBI's DNA.
Yeah. Rod says me and Harvey were just chatting. Tell him to hit me up, Rod. I sent him an email this week, and I'm not sure he got back. I'll check my email again, but I definitely want to have him on the show. I want to have a discussion with him.
He's the lawyer from Harvard, right?
Yes, he's
Yeah.
a criminal defense attorney, and yeah, he's very well known.
I think I've talked to him once or twice.
I think I have too. I had his card in my wallet. I'm pretty sure the first show I ever hosted was called Two Hotheads on Cannabis, THC show, on Unregular Radio. It was more than 10 years ago. It was just a live streaming show back then on their network. We had a studio in Boston. It was amazing. It was an amazing time. And my co-host was an attorney, Stephen Epstein, who's the founder of Mass Can Normal in Boston. And I know he's friends with Harvey. So I think that we may have interviewed Harvey on that show. I'm not sure. Or maybe he came to the Freedom Rally, something. We did something with him. And because recently I was looking through my wallet right after I read that story, and I was like, I gotta get Harvey on my show. And I'm literally cleaning out my wallet, and I open up the card, and there's Harvey's card. So
wow,
isn't that weird?
it is weird.
Yeah. So we got some more comments. Professional Douche, we love your content. It's like YouTube SNL. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Thank you. Check it out.
Lauren Pespiza writes, woo, two hotheads. That's how I actually met Lauren Pespiza. We had her on to talk about Barrett Brown back in the day. Have you listened to seen our new FBI documentary? I don't think so yet, Rod, but we've talked about it tonight, and people can definitely check that out. 2020, The Dumpster Fire. Definitely check out. There's also a trailer, too, about some of the stuff going on with the FBI behind that movie. So definitely check out 2020, The Dumpster Fire. It's going to be coming out everywhere, like Apple TV and Amazon or all those places. I know that they're having a screening this Friday night. Michael Picard's going to be there at the famous Capitol Theater in Arlington, Mass, right next to my best friend where he grew up, Michael Malta, the King of Pot, rest in peace. So that'll be really cool on Friday night.
So if you guys don't come for Rod, come for me.
Yeah, come to take a picture with Michael Picard in his costume. He's going to have something special. Oh, I kind of gave it away, didn't I? I gave away more than before, didn't I?
You're good.
I'm good. Okay.
Yep.
We get some love from KOP here. People are still talking about Samuel. It's funny. They catch up. Where are thou, Sam? Does he really just love you? We already talked about Samuel. We're done with Samuel now, right?
I think he does love me though.
Yeah. Come from Picard. We got more comments. We just reading the comments off. We got a lot of comments tonight on our Facebook page. We love you. Thank you for listening and watching us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. We're now on Twitter. Michael, Twitter is full of trolls. Why aren't you on Twitter? I saw you that you were on Twitter, but you haven't posted in like 3 years, it seems like.
Yeah, I kind of got boring with the format a little bit, but now that I'm starting to get popular on other platforms, I should move over to Twitter as well.
You got to get on Twitter. I want to see you there because that's a good place to troll. Maybe politicians. I don't know. I'm sure you could come up with some shit on there.
I definitely want to troll more politicians. That's one thing I want to do. Troll the police as well.
That's a good question. More comments. Frank Silla writes, "Love your videos. You've done a lot of videos that are tough on the police. Sometimes you're actually nice to the police. I notice as well in person. Do you have any fans? Because I just wonder sometimes if the police go home and watch these videos and laugh and say, I kind of like that guy, even though he's, wearing the pig costume against us. Do you ever have any cops that are like supporters of yours?
Yeah, I have a lot of cops who've come up to me and said, I recognize you from the videos or Reddit. My content is popular on, I can't even remember the subreddit right now, but yeah, I get a lot of comments from cops, saying, that my videos are funny, and they just don't know why people got so mad at the pig costume. At one rally,
some of the cops are even like, we don't get why
In fact, some of the cops are the ones laughing, and the Trump and the cop supporters, the Back the Blue people, are the ones that are pissed off.
So for I think most people know, but for the people that don't know, Michael went to West Roxbury, I believe it was, right?
Yep.
And you may have done this before, but that's the video I saw that's really popular. And West Roxbury, for people that don't know, is a very kind of white cop town. I mean, that's where what it really is. It's Irish Catholic, a lot of old school type people, a lot of older people too as well. Kind of conservative area of Boston. If you're gonna consider any area within the city of Boston to be conservative, it would probably be West Roxbury, right? So he's at a Back the Blue rally and he's wearing a huge pig costume and he's here to support the pigs. And a lot of the Back the Blue supporters get really, really mad and upset, it's just funny. But it's funny to hear that some of the cops think it's actually funny too.
That was actually the West Roxbury video where I'm dressed up as a pig was my most popular video. But let me tell you, that was kind of like humiliating, putting on a big inflatable pig costume for everyone to see. But yeah, that was what gave me really like notoriety.
When I saw that video, I was like, oh my God, he's going to get killed. Did you think you were going to get killed? Like some of those guys got really angry. Some of them, I was wondering if they were off-duty cops because
oh yeah, I believe
were probably protesting. Were you afraid at any point that you were really going to get beaten?
No, because most of the time I'm not beaten. My property's stolen. But I've never been actually, which surprises me. I've been poked in the eye by someone. I've been jabbed with a flagpole, but other than those few instances, I've never gotten assaulted.
All pigs matter. That was one of your phrases that the listeners are posting back up.
And let me tell you this. I put on that pig costume again for a Back the Blue rally in Stamford, Connecticut, and someone they felt so offended by the costume that they punctured the costume. It's inflatable, so
how much does that cost?
Yeah, they ruined it.
$100, $200?
No, it costs probably like $30-$40, something like that.
That's not bad then.
No, but it was
that's
just
a
funny.
nice costume. But they
Yeah.
punched it. They ruined it. Picard is a pure genius. Another comment left for you. And again, they're coming. Your audience really knows you. Allah bless America. That's another comment for you, Michael. They really know all your phrases. I feel like I know a few more of your phrases tonight as well, just from the audience. There's one. I don't know if this is one of your friends or maybe actually someone that doesn't like you. It says Picard deep throats the boot.
So I had a sign that I debuted, I think, in Taunton. It was, I don't know if you know Tony Fed.
I don't think so.
I think it's like Tony Federico or something like that. He's a staunch police supporter, and I had a sign that day at his rally saying, "We deep throat the whole boot."
He wasn't too
And-
happy, was he?
No, I wasn't.
Here's another question for you. Has Michael ever found love at a rally?
I would say with Samuel, I have.
Oh, it's so funny. So I want to ask you another question too. Like, if Comedy Central or someone big came to you and said, "Look, we love your videos. We want you to do something for us. Do some videos, but tone it down a little bit." Would you do something like that? But you could still get a troll in.
Yeah, I would do something like that.
Yeah, I think that would.
I'm always happy to expand other platforms as well.
Yeah, and then you could do the more serious stuff on YouTube, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So call them up, Comedy Central. Maybe some of your fans should start hitting up these people. And I don't mean like go to their website because they're not going to listen there. If you know somebody that works at Comedy Central or, Fox or whoever, not Fox, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. The media people. Tell them they should be hiring this guy because I think you're hilarious. You make the videos. I mean, they are funny. I mean, I don't care if you're left, center, right. If you can't laugh at some of the stuff that goes on, it's, the way that you handle it, Michael, and the way that you just stay cool and you say you're sorry, be nice, and they're calling you the worst names. You're ugly. They're really nasty. It's just,
I have a philosophy to let other people be more of an asshole than I am. But someone I would really love to work with is Sacha Baron Cohen.
there you go.
So call me.
And I'll put it out there, Michael. I would like to work with you. I would like to do trolling if I could afford not to, if I could give up my day job full time. So if you find some Comedy Central, call me up. I'll do trolling with you. If you need somebody, like if you need a crew.
All right.
Polygamous relationship with Samuel and Dianna, they're asking now, your audience.
I don't think Dianna would want to share me.
Here's a good question. Here's a good, maybe one of the last audience questions tonight. Michael, if you could troll anyone, living or dead, who would it be, and what would you do?
That is a good question. I've always wanted to troll Trump in person. Sort of like what Ali G with Trump. There's a video on YouTube of Ali G, who is Sacha Baron Cohen, trolling Trump with just the most ridiculous business ideas, like a pocket protector in case ice cream falls down into your pocket or something. Yeah, but I would love to
Do Donald Trump.
To troll Trump.
That would be epic.
I would also love to troll what's his name? The Boston detective, what's his name?
Oh, and Andrew Creed?
Andrew
the
Creed,
FBI,
yeah.
Joint Terrorism Task Force, Boston Police Officer, Andrew Creed.
I would. I'm kind of jealous that Rod has gained more FBI attention than I have.
So you want some FBI love, attention.
I do. I'm feeling really lonely over here.
You're the only one. I don't want it. I honestly, don't come to my house because I'll videotape you, Andrew Creed. And then I'll mock you. I'll do the imitation. I'm good at that. I can be a masshole. I can be a Boston cop coming out. Jay left a good comment. He says, Allah equals God. And Mike simply points that out, but they can't acknowledge their own irony.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like, Allah just simply means God, and people don't seem to understand that.
Yeah, I think it's outrageous. When you want to just.
Even my own family.
Right. It's like, for me too, like, I feel like I get why people have bigotry against Christians, you know? You got Bobart, the U.S. Congresswoman. Here's our Christmas photo with our kids with our guns, like looking like a total psychopath, and people are like, "How Christian of you?" And other people are like, "No, that's not Christian at all." So there's like two different sides to Christianity, and I think there's two different sides of all religions, and it's
Yeah,
how you
absolutely.
actually kind of perceive it or take it in. I'm not really a religious person. I don't like organized religion generally because I always feel like it leads to, the supreme leader who's a human deciding things.
Yeah,
But
I couldn't
there,
agree more.
there are different formats, like I love some Christian groups, in some of the local towns around here. Some of the Christian groups are some of the best people in the town,
Hmm.
United Methodists, for instance. So it really depends on what we're talking about. I don't like to stereotype, and I think that you really drive that point home when they have the hatred for Muslims, for Islam, for Allah, which is just a translation of God. It's like they really kind of just hate themselves. You're just pointing it out.
Hmm.
Genius. You're a genius, Michael.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I
That
agree.
means a
Your
lot.
messaging, like people, we could tell tonight with the amount of comments from people, and they're just repeating your messaging. They totally get it. Yeah. Well done, Michael.
Thank you.
I guess my last question, a couple, maybe two last questions. Number one, did you ever expect to get this kind of support and community kind of behind you? Like you've kind of created a community of people, number one. And I guess the final question is for actually, I'm going to make it a two-part question on that one too, because number one, I want to know for people out there looking to get involved in something creative like this, to kind of, what would your advice to them be? And also, I guess the final part of this is for people who are scared to rock the boat. They're scared what their family might say, the law enforcement. What would your advice to them be as well? For like, people who aren't involved right now that maybe want to be.
So, like I said, I never expected to become this popular. I started off with because I really enjoyed making these videos. I really enjoyed, um, creating content. And I'm blown away by, how many. I never expected to get nearly anywhere close to 50,000 subscribers, like on YouTube. And I'm humbled by how much people support me, and I appreciate all your support. As far as um, how to get started in something like this, I would just recommend, one thing that really built my confidence up to where it is activism, because you have to put yourself out there, and I started small, and you can start small too. You don't have to go to a rally where there are like 50 Trump supporters and then one troll. You start off small, and then you build your way up. Um, as far as family is concerned, I've learned to let things roll off my back, because what other people say about me isn't going to affect how the way I feel about me. And um, so generally, just starting off small, doing something that matters is like really the best way you can go.
That's it. And I would say myself, my own experience, when I first got involved in activism and advocacy, I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I just followed people around, that were doing it already, like the
Yeah,
OGs.
absolutely.
And then I got a camera, and I didn't get on the, I didn't get on the mic at all. What I did is I just stuck a camera in their face and started interviewing them, and I started putting out those videos, and the videos you never saw me at all. Sometimes you'd even not even hear, most of the time you'd not even hear my voice. I would cut my question out and just let them answer. And it was funny because I did so many of those videos that people wanted to start seeing who I was, and then I finally had something to say because I learned so much, and had been doing so much. And I think that's just kind of, you'll figure it out if you go out into the community and kind of just hang around people and interview them. You'll figure
Yeah.
out where you want to go. It will the path will direct you.
Mhm. And I find that the more you speak, the louder you'll begin to speak.
Say that again.
I find that, the more you begin to speak, the louder you'll speak. The more confidence you build, the more you speak. And, now I'm able to speak without fear.
That's the key. You'll feel comfortable,
Exactly. And sometimes it starts off small, and that's okay. Like, interviewing other people, and then you'll, get other people's view and form your own, and then you'll begin to have something to say,
That's it.
as you said.
Yep. You'll find your way. And believe me, there's always room for new people, especially younger people. That's, when I
Absolutely.
started, I was a young guy interviewing, I was basically what we call a Gen Xer, interviewing older baby boomers, who had been doing it for 10, 20 years. And, we Gen Xers, we had new ideas. And now we have all these other younger generations. I don't even want to label them because I can't. I mislabel them and they get mad at me. But I love the younger blood now. I think that the younger blood, because we were yelling about these issues, the Gen X crowd, and no one was listening to us. And then all of a sudden, like 5 younger generations came up behind us, and now it's the talk of the day. Black Lives Matter, income inequality, and the drug war, all these things, I think a lot of them are going to happen. I know Michael and I may not agree on all the specifics and the ideology. Michael, like libertarianism versus being a liberal left winger. Like, how do you, like, because you're basically like a libertarian, and I'm a left wing liberal. But a lot of your fans and a lot of your friends now are left wing liberals. Do you worry that you're going to kind of piss them off, with just who you are?
I've been doing this for a long time. I think it's safe to say that I've pissed off both sides. My followers fluctuate, and I'm okay with that because at the end of the day, I'm not. I don't care what other people think about me. All that matters is that I do what I believe in, and if people, you can't attach yourself to something that fluctuates, such as followers. You can't put your identity into that because then you're basically good for nothing because then you flip-flop on issues, stuff like that.
There you go. I agree 100%. You got to be you.
Absolutely.
Michael, it was great talking to you. We covered a lot of bases.
We did.
Next time, I think I want to get into more like, just what's going on in the country, what's going on in the state, some of the politics. I mean, unless you have another great viral video, which you always have another video to talk about. But there's so much to talk about. I want to thank you for coming on today. Is there anything last thing that you want to leave the audience? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah. Well, there's 2 things, if that's okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
The first thing is I really don't think, this person gets enough, credit. My lawyer is basically the person behind me. Like he's the person who, when I get arrested, he'll come and bail me out. When I have a court case, he'll be right there, advocating in the strongest terms possible that what I was doing was free speech. He's the one that comes with me to rallies and does activism with me sometimes. And without him, I couldn't do what I do. He affords me, great. He's the person behind me. And secondly, I would really like to, just plug my live stream coming up this Thursday. I'll be talking with Rod and Lauren about their documentary as well as their indictment. And if you guys want to tune in, that will be Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my YouTube channel or my Facebook.
And again, that's on YouTube. I know it's what are we calling it? The obnoxious douche?
Professional douche.
Oh, professional douche. That's close.
Yeah.
Professional, obnoxious, same thing.
Close enough.
Professional. But you are
I'll allow it.
Douche now, right?
I am. I've graduated from an amateur douche to a professional douche.
And you're also getting we're just flashing the comments up now because there's so many comments coming in, and I haven't even posted half of them that came in tonight. There was a lot of comments, but you're getting some good suggestions. I'm trying to go back through oh, here we go. This is a good suggestion, I think, for you, Michael. One of your fans says, for higher ratings, troll the controversial players from the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball.
I would love to.
Thought of that? You would love to, okay.
Not
that
particularly.
Could be next.
Yeah, that could be next. The thing is, though, that they don't usually put themselves out there in the public.
That's right.
Like they're not at rallies, and if they are, they usually have a huge
bodyguard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, even when you get to meet them backstage, which some it shows and stuff. It's crazy. Here's another comment. My ally could beat up your god from Zap. I love the comments. You have some quality commenters. I gotta admit, they're well educated. They love your material. It's awesome, Michael.
I just have to say that my family would disagree with that.
Your family. You know what I'm gonna say to your family? Say you're sorry. That's what we're putting it up. Say you're sorry. Michael Picard's family.
One time,
say sorry.
Yeah. One time, my aunt started like screaming at me because of one of my videos, and she said, "Tell me right now that Allah isn't God." And what did I do? Allah is God.
Allah is God.
And she started screaming at me.
See, she should be so honored that you inspired her. Like if she, this is the problem with people, she should be like going around taking credit for you, being like, look at this, look, my relative, he's so, what, you're the nephew? What are you?
Yeah, nephew.
Yeah, look at my nephew. He's done such great things. He was inspired by me. Like all our friends would love it. But no, she's got to be negative. Say you're sorry, Auntie. Say you're sorry. Michael's doing great things for the world. YouTube.com, professional douche. Check it out. You got a show coming up again when?
Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern.
So everybody got to be there. All the people commented tonight. Make sure you're back for him on Thursday night, 7 p.m. I don't know when my next show is, but I'm telling you, there will be another one. We're definitely doing a lot more shows. Starting to work on booking a lot of different guests, different topics. I'm going to hopefully have Michael Picard back on the show. So if
I would love to be on again.
Thank you. I'd love to have you. Definitely subscribe. We're on YouTube, the Young Jurks, Facebook. We got a Facebook group. If you haven't, please join there. We also have our website where we post some of our stories, midnightmass.substack.com. You can subscribe there, put your email address in there. If you want to kick us some money, you can also kick money there. And also, we're on iTunes, Spotify, all those places. If you're listening to the podcast later there, definitely subscribe, follow us. Please keep up with us. We love all of our new listeners and supporters, and especially support Michael Picard, youtube.com/professional douche on YouTube. He's also on Facebook. Again, I can't do it without my listener and supporters, and I'm sure Michael definitely feels the same way at this point, right, Michael?
Absolutely. You guys feel me.
Yes. So again, I want to thank Michael Picard for coming on tonight. I want to thank all our listeners. I want to thank my girlfriend Carmelita for taking care of the dog upstairs tonight and hooking me up with this great studio that we have at home. Thank you again, Michael Picard, so much for coming on tonight.
And thank you for having me.
We're the Young Jurks. We'll see you next time. Mike Crawford, check it out. Thank you.